The feeling creeps in slowly, almost imperceptibly at first. You wake up not with that familiar surge of readiness for the day, but with a heavy reluctance, a sense that the tank is perpetually half empty. Tasks that once felt effortless now demand significant effort. That spark, that inner drive that propelled you through decades of work, family, and life, seems dimmer, harder to ignite. And perhaps most intimately concerning, the confidence and performance in the bedroom, once a source of connection and vitality, feels like it's fading, becoming inconsistent, less reliable. You catch yourself looking in the mirror, noticing the lines, the gray, and a quiet, unsettling thought whispers, "Are my best days truly behind me?" If this resonates, if you're standing at this crossroads feeling the weight of years and a creeping sense of resignation, please listen closely. What I'm about to share might seem surprising, perhaps even counterintuitive to the complex solutions often peddled, but it carries the potential to be profoundly transformative. Forget expensive pills with their long lists of side effects. Forget confusing powders promising instant miracles. The key to unlocking renewed energy, reigniting that inner fire, restoring robust blood flow, and reclaiming the kind of sexual performance you may not have experienced in years could very well lie in three remarkably simple, entirely natural, and astonishingly powerful foods: ordinary nuts. Yes, you read that correctly. 3 specific types of nuts, readily available, affordable, and packed with precisely the nutrients your aging body desperately needs to counteract the systems that time tries to slow down. I am Dr. Lucy Stone. For over 30 years, my life's work has been dedicated to helping men navigate the challenges that come with maturity, not with resignation, but with empowerment. I've sat across from countless men like you, successful, experienced, men who built lives and families, yet found themselves grappling with a sense of loss as their physical vitality seemed to wane. My focus has always been on restoring not just physical strength, but the deep-seated confidence and sense of masculinity that naturally flows from feeling strong and capable in one's own body. And I state this unequivocally: aging is not synonymous with surrender. It doesn't mean accepting decline as inevitable. Instead, it signifies an opportunity to become profoundly smarter, more intentional, about how you nourish and support the incredible biological machine you inhabit. It's about working with your body's innate wisdom, not against it, providing it the specific tools it requires to function optimally, even as the calendar pages turn. The reality is, most men navigating their 60s and beyond are unaware of the potent biological allies hiding in plain sight within these humble shells. These 3 specific nuts, walnuts, pistachios, and Brazil nuts, operate on a foundational level. They directly support and enhance crucial physiological functions, improving circulation so blood flows freely to every organ and extremity, including those essential for firm, reliable erections, naturally supporting healthier hormone levels, particularly testosterone, which governs energy, drive, muscle mass, and sexual function, and reducing systemic inflammation, a silent saboteur linked to nearly every age-related decline. They achieve this not through artificial stimulation or pharmaceutical intervention, but by delivering concentrated doses of bioavailable nutrients that your body instantly recognizes and knows precisely how to utilize for repair, maintenance, and optimization. In the detailed exploration that follows, I will meticulously unpack the unique, science-backed benefits of each nut, revealing exactly how they exert their influence within your body. Crucially, I will explain the powerful synergy that occurs when these 3 are combined consistently, how they amplify each other's effects far beyond what any single nut could achieve alone. I will also expose the number 1, incredibly common mistake older men make that unintentionally undermines their efforts and sabotages potential results. Finally, I will provide you with a clear, simple, and sustainable daily routine, a practical blueprint you can start implementing immediately to harness this natural power and begin feeling like your stronger, more vibrant self again, potentially faster than you might imagine. Before we delve into this life-changing information, if you find value in content designed specifically to empower men over 60 to feel stronger, more energized, and more confident every single day, I warmly invite you to subscribe to this channel. Hitting that subscribe button and turning on the notification bell ensures you won't miss any of our future videos, all crafted with your unique health journey in mind. Your engagement is vital. If this video resonates with you, offers hope, or provides useful insights, please type the number 1 in the comments below. If, for any reason, it doesn't meet your expectations, type 0. This direct feedback is invaluable. It guides me in creating content that genuinely supports your pursuit of lasting health and vitality. Now, let's begin this journey of rediscovery, starting with the first foundational powerhouse that no man seeking to reclaim his vitality after 60 can afford to overlook. This unassuming nut plays a pivotal, non-negotiable role in restoring healthy blood flow, boosting circulation system-wide, and laying the essential groundwork for stronger, more dependable performance where it matters most. We're talking about the undisputed champion, the cornerstone of vascular health, the circulation king. Nut number 1 is the humble, brain-shaped walnut. Despite its unpretentious appearance, don't underestimate its profound impact. The story of Tom, a patient who walked into my office at 68, perfectly illustrates its power. He sat across from me, shoulders slumped, a palpable air of defeat surrounding him. "Doc," he confessed, his voice heavy with frustration and a touch of embarrassment, "it's like my body just doesn't listen anymore. The desire is there, absolutely, but when it comes down to it, nothing. I want to be intimate with my wife, to connect, but it's just not working like it used to. It feels like I'm letting us both down." This sentiment, this specific frustration, is one I encounter far more frequently than most people realize. It's a quiet struggle, often born in silence. In Tom's case, as in so many others, the core issue wasn't primarily a lack of libido or desire. The fundamental roadblock was compromised blood flow. Efficient, robust circulation is the absolute bedrock of male sexual function, energy levels, cognitive sharpness, and overall vitality. Without it, the system falters. This is precisely why the very first nut we must spotlight is the walnut. It might seem like a simple snack, but it is, in fact, one of nature's most potent edible tools for actively supporting and enhancing circulatory health. When your circulation is sluggish or impaired, everything else downstream suffers. Erections become soft or difficult to maintain, energy plummets, mental fog sets in. It truly all begins and ends with the efficient delivery of oxygen and nutrients via a healthy bloodstream. So, what makes walnuts so uniquely effective for this critical task? The answer lies in their rich concentration of L-arginine. This essential amino acid serves as a direct precursor in the body's production of nitric oxide, NO. Think of nitric oxide as the master key that unlocks your blood vessels. It's a signaling molecule, a gas produced naturally within the endothelial lining of your arteries and veins. Its primary function? To signal the smooth muscle cells surrounding your blood vessels to relax. This relaxation, termed vasodilation, causes the vessels to widen significantly. Wider vessels mean dramatically reduced resistance to blood flow. Imagine a narrow garden hose versus a wide-open fire hose. The difference in flow rate and pressure is immense. When you're younger, your body typically produces ample nitric oxide, keeping your vascular system supple and responsive. However, as we age, particularly crossing the threshold of 60, nitric oxide production takes a significant and rapid nosedive. The endothelial cells become less efficient, inflammation increases, and the pathways for NO synthesis become impaired. This decline is a major contributor to the circulatory slowdown many men experience. This is where walnuts step in as a powerful, natural intervention. By providing a rich dietary source of L-arginine, walnuts supply the essential raw material your body needs to ramp up its own nitric oxide production. They help restore that vital function, actively working to keep your blood vessels open, flexible, and responsive to the body's needs. Furthermore, walnuts are exceptionally rich in plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid, ALA. These potent anti-inflammatory compounds work diligently to reduce chronic, low-grade inflammation throughout the body, a key driver of endothelial dysfunction and cardiovascular disease. They also contribute directly to improving the lipid profile, reducing harmful LDL cholesterol and triglycerides while supporting beneficial HDL cholesterol. Improving cardiovascular health and reducing inflammation are not abstract concepts. They are absolutely fundamental pillars for any man aiming to perform at his physical and sexual peak. The combination of enhanced nitric oxide production for vasodilation and the anti-inflammatory, cardioprotective effects of omega-3s makes walnuts a truly indispensable tool. The results, while grounded in biochemistry, often feel nothing short of remarkable to the men who experience them. I've had numerous patients, much like Tom, report that after consistently incorporating just a small handful of walnuts into their evening routine, perhaps with a piece of fruit, sprinkled on yogurt, or simply enjoyed on their own, they began noticing tangible improvements within a matter of weeks. They described waking up feeling more refreshed, with a noticeable return of physical energy that carried them through the day more easily. Crucially, many reported the welcome return of stronger, more reliable morning erections, a key physiological indicator of healthy nocturnal blood flow and hormonal activity. They felt mentally sharper, less burdened by that afternoon fog. Some even noted increased stamina during physical activities. This isn't magic. It's the logical outcome of biology finally receiving the precise support it requires to function optimally. The sheer elegance lies in the simplicity. No synthetic pills with potential side effects, no complicated prescriptions, just a whole, natural food that your body inherently recognizes, knows how to process efficiently, and utilizes effectively to repair and optimize its own systems. So, if you've been battling persistent sluggishness, if the firmness and reliability of your erections have diminished, or if your overall drive and zest feel like they've been dialed down, making walnuts a consistent part of your diet could be the pivotal first step towards turning that tide. It addresses the fundamental circulatory foundation upon which everything else is built. However, while robust blood flow is absolutely essential, it represents only one critical dimension of the vitality equation for men over 60. The next powerhouse nut we turn to doesn't merely support circulation. It takes a direct, scientifically validated approach to enhancing erection strength, endurance, and overall sexual satisfaction. Its impact is so significant, it's been documented in clinical research. This is one revelation you absolutely won't want to miss. Nut number 2 is the vibrant green pistachio, aptly termed the erection booster. Their story is illuminated by Richard, a patient who came to me at 72. Outwardly, Richard was the picture of health, active, mentally sharp, and deeply devoted to his wife. Yet, beneath the surface, a quiet frustration simmered. "Dr. Stone," he confided, leaning forward with a mix of candor and disappointment, "it's incredibly frustrating. Mentally, I'm fully present, fully engaged. The desire is strong. But physically, it's like my body just isn't answering the call. I'm there, but it's not showing up." He had, like many men, tried the conventional pharmaceutical route, the little blue pills. While they provided a mechanical solution on occasion, the side effects were deeply unpleasant for him: unsettling lightheadedness, uncomfortable facial flushing, and an underlying sense of embarrassment that the solution felt artificial, almost like cheating. What Richard yearned for, what so many men truly seek, was a natural approach, something that worked harmoniously with his body's own physiology, gently supporting and enhancing its natural functions without force or unpleasant consequences. This is precisely where pistachios entered the picture. Most people casually regard pistachios as a tasty, perhaps slightly indulgent, snack. Few realize they are actually one of the very few foods on the planet with clinically demonstrated, research-backed benefits for naturally improving erectile function and sexual satisfaction. The evidence is compelling. A particularly fascinating study conducted in Turkey provided clear, objective data. Men experiencing erectile difficulties who incorporated pistachios into their daily diet, consuming a specific amount consistently, for a relatively short period of just 3 weeks, experienced measurable, significant improvements across key parameters. These included increased firmness of their erections, longer-lasting endurance during sexual activity, and crucially, enhanced overall sexual satisfaction reported by both themselves and their partners. This wasn't anecdotal. It was documented science. No drugs, no gimmicks, just the potent nutritional power of a real, whole food making a tangible difference in men's intimate lives. Unpacking the how reveals why pistachios are such potent allies. Much like walnuts, they are an excellent source of L-arginine, providing the essential building block for the body's production of nitric oxide. This directly supports the vasodilation process, ensuring blood can flow freely and abundantly to the penile tissues, which is the fundamental physical mechanism behind an erection. However, pistachios bring unique additional strengths to the table. They are nutritional powerhouses, densely packed with a synergistic blend of antioxidants, including lutein, zeaxanthin, and polyphenol, healthy monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, fiber, and specific plant compounds called phytosterols. This powerful combination works on multiple fronts to support vascular health beyond just NO production. Antioxidants combat oxidative stress that damages blood vessels. Healthy fats improve cholesterol profiles and reduce inflammation. Phytosterols have been shown to help lower levels of LDL, bad cholesterol. Fiber contributes to stable blood sugar levels, preventing energy crashes that can dampen desire and performance. All these factors converge to create an internal environment optimally conducive to reliable, strong erections. Reduced vascular inflammation, improved endothelial function, better cholesterol ratios, and stable energy. It's a holistic approach that translates directly to better physical performance, accompanied by increased confidence and a significant reduction in performance-related anxiety and frustration. When Richard committed to adding a small handful of unsalted pistachios to his daily regimen, typically enjoying them after lunch, the changes began to unfold. Within a couple of weeks, he noticed the return of stronger, more frequent morning erections, a positive physiological sign. More importantly, he experienced a resurgence of spontaneous desire, a natural reawakening of his libido that felt authentic, not drug-induced. The most powerful feedback came when he told me, with a renewed spark in his eyes, "It's like something fundamental clicked back into place. It feels like my system, my body, has finally woken up and remembered how to respond." If you've been feeling a disconnect between your mind's desire and your body's response, if the specter of performance anxiety has begun to cast a shadow over intimacy, pistachios represent a natural, accessible, and surprisingly powerful solution that may have been quietly overlooked in your quest for vitality. Yet, even with optimized blood flow and enhanced erectile function, there remains a deeper, often overlooked layer crucial for sustained male vitality: hormonal balance. What if I told you the third nut in this powerful trio doesn't just assist circulation or erection quality, but actively supports your body's own hormone production systems from within? This nut is a true game changer for testosterone levels, foundational energy reserves, mood stability, and even long-term prostate health. It might well be the most crucial element of all for holistic rejuvenation. Nut number 3 is the Brazil nut, deservedly recognized as the hormone restorer. Consider the experience of Gary, a patient who arrived at my clinic at 66. Gary was intellectually vibrant, physically active, enjoying retirement, and remained deeply in love with his wife. Despite this, he carried a persistent nagging sense that something vital was missing. "I just don't feel like myself anymore, Dr. Stone," he admitted, a note of genuine confusion and concern in his voice. "My energy reserves feel constantly depleted, like I'm running on empty even after a good night's sleep. My interest in sex, which was always a natural part of our connection, has noticeably waned. It's a peculiar feeling, as if my body is gradually slowing down, winding down, despite my conscious efforts to stay active and engaged." Gary was doing many things right: maintaining a healthy weight, eating reasonably well, staying active with regular walks. Yet, something fundamental felt out of sync, operating below its optimal level. This prompted me to ask a specific question: "Gary, tell me about your selenium intake." He looked at me, genuinely perplexed. "Selenium? What's that?" His reaction was entirely typical. Despite its critical importance, Selenium remains one of the most overlooked and under-discussed essential minerals, especially concerning men's health as they age. This is precisely where the mighty Brazil nut becomes indispensable. These large, buttery nuts are not your average snack. They are nature's most concentrated and bioavailable source of selenium. In fact, just one single Brazil nut can often provide well over 100% of your daily selenium requirement. This single mineral plays an extraordinarily powerful, multifaceted role in male physiology. It is absolutely vital for the healthy production and metabolism of testosterone, the primary male sex hormone that governs libido, muscle mass, bone density, energy levels, and overall sense of well-being. Selenium is also crucial for maintaining healthy sperm parameters. Even if fertility isn't the primary concern, it reflects testicular health and offers significant protective benefits for the prostate gland, helping to maintain its health and function as men age. The challenge with selenium is stark. Your body cannot manufacture it. Your selenium status is entirely dependent on what you consume through your diet. Compounding this, soil selenium levels vary dramatically around the world, leading to inconsistent levels in many common foods. Furthermore, the body's need for adequate selenium, and its role in combating oxidative stress and supporting hormonal balance, becomes increasingly critical as we get older. Deficiencies are more common than most realize and can silently contribute to the very symptoms Gary described: low energy, diminished libido, mood changes, and increased susceptibility to age-related health issues. Gary's journey with the Brazil nut began simply, consuming just one nut each morning. The changes weren't overnight fireworks, but a gradual, steady reawakening. Initially, he reported subtle shifts: a more stable, positive mood, less mental fog clouding his thinking, and a noticeable return of his underlying drive and motivation. By the end of the first month, however, the most significant shift emerged. His libido returned, not as a forced effort, but as a natural, spontaneous resurgence. He described it as if his body had simply been waiting for the right signal, the right nutrient, to remember its inherent vitality. It felt natural again, he said, like my body finally had permission to feel like a man, fully. The profound beauty of Brazil nuts lies in their potent simplicity and efficiency. You don't need to consume large quantities. In fact, excessive selenium intake can be counterproductive and even harmful. The key is consistent, moderate supplementation. Consuming just one Brazil nut per day acts like a targeted, natural hormonal insurance policy. It provides a potent bioavailable dose of selenium that helps maintain optimal testosterone levels, stabilizes energy production at the cellular level, mitochondria rely on selenium-dependent enzymes, supports cognitive function, and offers ongoing protection for prostate health. If you've been grappling with a persistent sense that your inner spark is dimming, battling unexplained fatigue that sleep doesn't cure, or mourning the absence of your natural desire, incorporating one Brazil nut into your daily routine could be the gentle, yet profoundly effective, biological reset your system has been silently craving. It addresses the hormonal engine room that powers so much of male vitality. Now, imagine harnessing the individual power of walnuts, pistachios, and Brazil nuts not separately, but woven into one cohesive, daily practice. What kind of synergistic effect might this combination unleash? The answer transcends simple nutrient addition. It delves into the realm of biological amplification, creating a whole that is significantly greater than the sum of its parts. Understanding this synergy is where the true magic of this approach becomes undeniable. This brings us to point 4, the undeniable power of combining these three nuts. One of the most profound lessons gleaned from over 3 decades of clinical practice with men navigating maturity is this fundamental truth. The human body does not heal, restore, or thrive in isolated compartments. Its strength lies in interconnectedness, in synergy, the way different systems and nutrients interact, support, and amplify each other to create holistic well-being. This is the exact, powerful dynamic that unfolds when walnuts, pistachios, and Brazil nuts are consumed together consistently as part of a daily regimen. Each nut, as we've explored, offers remarkable standalone benefits. Walnuts are the circulatory foundation masters. Pistachios are the performance and vascular optimization specialists. Brazil nuts are the hormonal and metabolic regulators. However, when combined, their effects don't just add up. They interlock and potentiate each other in ways your body experiences as a comprehensive revitalization. The story of Dan, a 71-year-old patient, vividly illustrates this principle. Dan was well-intentioned, but scattered in his approach. Over the years, he had dabbled with each of these nuts individually. He'd snack on pistachios for a few weeks, perhaps after reading an article, then forget about them. Months later, he might try walnuts upon a friend's suggestion, then lapse again. Brazil nuts occasionally made an appearance. His results were frustratingly inconsistent, leading him to tell me during a consultation, "Doc, I feel like I've tried all this natural stuff. I've eaten these nuts at different times, but honestly, I just don't feel any different. Maybe it's just not for me." Recognizing the lack of consistency and, crucially, the absence of the combined effect, I proposed a specific challenge. Commit to consuming all 3 nuts, walnuts, pistachios, and 1 Brazil nut, every single day, without fail, for a period of 21 days. 3 weeks of focused consistency. What transpired after those 21 days was nothing short of transformative. Dan returned, not with a hesitant report, but with visible energy and a genuine smile. "I don't quite know how to explain it," he began, "but something significant has shifted. I'm waking up with noticeably more energy, a real spring in my step that wasn't there before. I feel physically lighter, somehow more agile. And my wife, she actually commented that I seem more present, more engaged, not just going through the motions." That word, present, resonated deeply. It encapsulated the holistic impact. This combination wasn't just about fixing isolated symptoms. It was about restoring a man's sense of being fully alive, fully inhabiting his body and his life. Biologically, the synergy makes perfect sense. The walnuts lay the essential groundwork by optimizing nitric oxide production and systemic circulation, ensuring blood, carrying oxygen, nutrients, and hormones, can reach every tissue effectively, including the brain, muscles, heart, and genitalia. The pistachios build directly upon this foundation. The enhanced blood flow initiated by the walnuts is utilized more efficiently for erectile tissue engorgement, supported further by pistachios' unique blend of erection-enhancing nutrients and antioxidants that protect the vascular system. Simultaneously, the Brazil nuts work at the deepest regulatory level. The selenium they provide supports healthy testosterone production and metabolism. Testosterone, in turn, plays a crucial role in maintaining the health of the endothelial cells lining the blood vessels, supporting the NO pathway walnuts enhance, contributes to libido, complementing the physical readiness pistachios support, and boosts overall energy and muscle function. It's a virtuous cycle, a full-circle biological strategy addressing the 3 most common and interconnected challenges men face after 60. Circulatory efficiency, walnuts, physical sexual performance and vascular health, pistachios, and hormonal balance/drive, Brazil nuts. The sheer practicality is compelling. Implementing this trio requires minimal time, no complex cooking, and fits seamlessly into most routines. It's a simple, 5-minute daily investment with the potential for profound returns on your quality of life. However, even the most elegantly designed plan can be derailed by a single, pervasive mistake. It's an error I witness with disheartening frequency in my practice, one that can subtly but effectively negate all your positive efforts without you even realizing what's happening. Identifying and avoiding this pitfall is absolutely critical. This brings us to point 5, the number 1 mistake sabotaging men's vitality after 60. In my years of practice, one of the most challenging obstacles isn't diagnosing complex medical conditions. It's helping men recognize the insidious, often unconscious pattern of quiet surrender they've gradually slipped into. This surrender rarely happens dramatically. It's a slow, almost imperceptible erosion. It often begins with a resigned shrug in response to subtle changes, a little less stamina than before, a slight dip in morning energy, perhaps an instance or two where sexual performance felt less reliable than it once did. Instead of pausing to ask, why is this happening, or proactively seeking understanding and solutions, the default response for far too many men is a fatalistic, well, I guess this is just part of getting older. That internal narrative, that subtle but pervasive resignation, is the single most damaging mistake I encounter. It's not the biological changes of aging themselves that inflict the deepest wound. It's the cascade of inaction, the passive acceptance, the assumption that decline is inevitable and unalterable, that follows this mindset. This quiet giving up is what truly steals vitality, not the mere passage of time. Waiting, ignoring the signals, assuming nothing can or will improve, these are the silent thieves. I recall a poignant conversation with Bill, a patient aged 69. He was retired, witty, and outwardly cheerful, but during a consultation, a distinct heaviness entered his voice as he said, Doc, I just figured this tiredness, this lack of get up and go. I figured this was just my new normal now. Part of the package, you know." Hearing that struck a chord deep within me, not just as a physician, but as someone committed to human potential, because I knew with absolute certainty it wasn't true. Bill didn't require a mythical fountain of youth or a time machine. He didn't need to recapture his 30-year-old self. What he desperately needed was a fundamental shift in perspective, a willingness to challenge the assumption of decline, to replace passive acceptance with proactive curiosity, and to take small, consistent actions toward self-support. He needed permission from himself to believe that feeling better was still possible. When Bill finally embraced this shift, committing to simple steps like incorporating the 3 nuts and resuming regular walks, the transformation in his demeanor was palpable. Within weeks, the man who had quietly accepted fading away began reporting feeling more like his authentic self, mentally sharper, physically more alive, and deeply reconnected to his own body and its capabilities. The core mistake isn't aging. Aging is a natural, inevitable process. The critical error is equating aging with surrender, with the loss of agency over one's health and vitality. It doesn't have to be that way. Not if you cultivate curiosity about your body, take intentional, evidence-based action, and consistently provide your physiology with the specific nutrients it needs to function optimally according to its inherent design. This proactive mindset paves the way for the final, practical piece of the puzzle, translating this knowledge into a simple, effortless daily ritual that integrates seamlessly into your life, creating a sustainable path towards feeling stronger, more energetic, and vibrantly alive every single day. Point 6 is your actionable daily vitality routine. Throughout my career, I've counseled countless men overwhelmed by the sheer volume and often contradictory nature of health advice available. They show me kitchen counters cluttered with bottles of supplements, books bookmarked but unfinished, well-meaning suggestions from friends and family, conflicting opinions from various healthcare providers, and an endless stream of information and misinformation online. The result is often paralysis by analysis, a sense of being pulled in too many directions to take effective action. My counsel is always grounded in a fundamental principle. Lasting, transformative change rarely springs from attempting a dozen complicated new things at once. It arises from identifying a few high-impact, scientifically sound actions and performing them with unwavering consistency. Complexity breeds resistance. Simplicity fosters sustainability. This philosophy guided the design of the daily routine centered around these 3 powerful nuts. It requires no gym membership, no radical dietary overhaul, no cocktail of expensive pills. It hinges on a few intentional, easily integrated choices made consistently each day, choices that work synergistically to rebuild the foundations that the natural aging process can erode. Here's the precise, streamlined protocol I recommend based on decades of observation and patient success. Begin your day with 1 single Brazil nut. That's it. Just 1. Its compact size makes it incredibly easy to remember and consume. This simple act delivers a potent bioavailable dose of selenium first thing in the morning, setting the stage for optimal hormonal function, supporting testosterone production and metabolism, providing critical antioxidant support right from the start of your day, and offering ongoing protection for prostate health. Many of my most successful patients keep a small jar of Brazil nuts right next to their toothbrush in the bathroom. The routine becomes automatic. Brush teeth, consume one Brazil nut. It eliminates the chance of forgetting and takes mere seconds, integrating seamlessly into an existing habit. Around midday, typically after lunch when energy levels can naturally dip, reach for a small handful of unsalted pistachios. Consuming them at this time helps stabilize blood sugar levels, preventing the afternoon energy crash that saps vitality and dampens mood. The L-arginine and antioxidants in pistachios work to maintain and enhance the nitric oxide-driven circulation boost initiated by the morning's hormonal support. This directly primes your vascular system, supporting the potential for stronger erections and better physical endurance later on. Furthermore, the healthy fats and protein provide sustained energy and satiety, making pistachios an ideal, health-promoting snack that combats the urge for sugary or processed alternatives. Finally, in the evening, approximately 1 hour before you intend to sleep, enjoy a small handful of walnuts. This timing is strategic. As your body prepares for rest and enters its crucial repair and regeneration phase overnight, the nutrients in walnuts provide essential support. The L-arginine continues to support nitric oxide production, aiding overnight blood flow repair and maintenance, vital for endothelial health and, by extension, morning erections. The potent anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids work to calm systemic inflammation while you sleep. Additionally, walnuts contain melatonin precursors and magnesium, which can gently support the body's natural sleep-wake cycle, promoting more restful and restorative sleep, itself a cornerstone of energy, hormone balance, and overall vitality. Think of this evening handful as nourishing fuel specifically for your body's nocturnal renewal processes. This is the complete regimen: 1 Brazil nut upon waking, a small handful of pistachios midday, a small handful of walnuts in the evening. 3 simple actions, repeated daily. Despite its simplicity, I have witnessed this consistent practice catalyze profound shifts in men who had genuinely believed their most vibrant years were irrevocably in the past. They reclaimed consistent energy that powered them through their days. They rebuilt deep-seated confidence that radiated in their posture and interactions. They rediscovered intimacy and connection in their relationships, not through striving for perfection, but by honoring their bodies with precisely the right fuel, delivered at the optimal times to support its natural rhythms and repair mechanisms. It's a practice rooted in self-respect and biological intelligence. Before we conclude, I feel compelled to share something that transcends nutritional strategies and daily routines, touching on a deeper, more fundamental aspect of this journey. Because the most profound transformations always involve not just the body, but also the mind and spirit. What I share in these final moments could very well be the pivotal shift in perspective that reshapes how you experience the rest of your life. Point 7 is our conclusion, a moment for reflection beyond the biochemistry. If you've journeyed with me this far, absorbing this information, I want to pause and speak to you not merely as Dr. Lucy Stone, the clinician, but as someone who has listened, truly listened, to the hopes, fears, and quiet struggles of hundreds of men standing exactly where you might be standing now. Men who felt the unsettling slippage of their physical strength, the gradual dimming of their once abundant energy, and the slow, often painful erosion of their confidence. Men who have loved fiercely, worked diligently, provided steadfastly for their families, and who suddenly, perhaps shockingly, found themselves confronting a disorienting question: what about me? Where did I go in all of this? This question, this sense of loss of self amidst the passage of time, is far more common than society acknowledges. Asking it is not a sign of weakness or vanity. It is a profound testament to the enduring spark within you, a clear signal that you still care deeply about feeling alive, desired, capable, and strong in your own skin. It signifies an unextinguished desire to fully inhabit your life. And the resounding truth, backed by both science and countless lived experiences, is this: you absolutely can reclaim that vitality. You now possess knowledge about 3 extraordinarily potent, yet beautifully simple, natural foods: walnuts, pistachios, and Brazil nuts. Walnuts act as your circulatory champions, diligently working to optimize blood flow, ensuring life-giving oxygen and nutrients reach every corner of your being, including the tissues essential for sexual function. Pistachios serve as your performance partners, enhancing the quality, strength, and endurance of erections through targeted vascular support and antioxidant protection, fostering confidence and reducing anxiety. Brazil nuts function as your hormonal guardians, providing the critical mineral selenium needed to support healthy testosterone levels, stabilize energy production at its source, protect your prostate, and rekindle your natural drive and sense of well-being. Each nut, consumed alone, holds the potential to make a meaningful difference. However, their true transformative power is unleashed when they are combined consistently. Together, they create a biological symphony, a synergistic harmony that supports your cardiovascular system, your endocrine, hormonal system, your neurological function, and your fundamental sense of masculine vitality. This isn't marketing hyperbole. It's grounded in the intricate, interconnected biology of the human male body and the potent nutrients these specific foods deliver. The crucial factor now is unwavering consistency. 1 Brazil nut with your morning routine. A modest handful of pistachios during the midday lull. A few walnuts as part of your wind down in the evening. These are far more than mere snacks. They are deliberate, daily declarations. Each consumption is a quiet affirmation. I am not finished. I still possess vitality to express, contributions to make, love to give and receive, and I absolutely deserve to feel strong, capable, and fully alive within this body I inhabit. Because the most significant transformation extends far beyond measurable physical improvements in energy or sexual function. It manifests in how you carry yourself through the world, standing taller, moving with more purpose, engaging more fully with the people and activities that matter to you. I've witnessed this resurgence time and again. I've seen the spark rekindle in weary eyes. I've observed shoulders straighten from a resigned slump. I've watched genuine smiles return, replacing expressions of quiet defeat. I've heard stories of relationships deepening, not because of a temporary fix, but because a man chose to believe that his journey wasn't over simply because he had celebrated 6 decades or more. He chose to actively participate in his own vitality, providing his body with the specific, natural tools it needed to thrive. So if anything within this message has stirred a resonance within you, if even a single sentence has spoken to that part of your spirit that has felt quieted or overlooked for too long, then I extend a heartfelt invitation. Begin. Start today. Not with grand, overwhelming gestures, but with small, intentional, consistent steps. Begin with 1 Brazil nut tomorrow morning. Acquire some pistachios and walnuts. Honor your body with this simple, powerful nourishment. Reclaim your strength, step by deliberate step. Remind yourself, and demonstrate to the world around you, that your most vibrant, powerful, and fulfilling years are not relics of the past. They are happening now, waiting to be fully embraced and lived with the energy and confidence you deserve. You still have precious time. You still possess immense inner power. There is still a remarkable man within you, worthy of care, worthy of vitality, worthy of fighting for. Let's commit to keeping him strong, vibrant, and fully alive. If this exploration has offered you hope, clarity, practical strategies, or simply a vital reminder that prioritizing your health and well-being matters deeply, I would be sincerely grateful if you took a moment to like this video. Your likes signals to the platform that this content provides genuine value, helping it reach more men over 60 who are seeking trustworthy guidance and empowerment on their health journeys. If you know someone in your life, a close friend, a brother, a father, an uncle, or a colleague, who might resonate with this message and benefit from this knowledge, please don't hesitate to share it. A simple act of sharing could be the catalyst that positively impacts another man's life, offering him the insights and hope he needs. I also genuinely value hearing your thoughts and experiences. Please leave a comment below sharing what aspect of this discussion resonated most powerfully with you, what specific step you plan to implement starting today, or even just type, "I'm starting today," as a commitment to yourself. Knowing you're taking that crucial first step truly encourages this mission. Your active participation, your stories, your questions, fuel the creation of future content designed to serve you. Finally, if you feel moved to support this channel directly, enabling us to continue producing high-quality, evidence-based content specifically focused on the unique health and vitality needs of men over 60, please consider making a contribution via the Super Thanks button provided below the video. Every bit of support, no matter the size, helps us reach, inform, and empower more men with the practical tools, scientific truth, and compassionate encouragement they need to not just age, but to truly thrive in their later years. Thank you, deeply, for investing your time and attention here today. Thank you for demonstrating the courage to believe that feeling stronger and more alive is still possible, and for taking the initiative to make it a reality.